Hey everybody, we're here with a brand new silver partner, and we could not be more excited than to welcome our friend Amin Njonkou. How are you doing today? And welcome to the family.
I'm doing very good. We are getting a little bit cold here up
Yep.
here. It's fall. The colors are beautiful, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What
You
about yourself?
yeah, we're doing good. It's actually it warmed up to 56. We dropped into the 30s. Of course that's Fahrenheit, but we dropped into the 30s last night. So it was
Probably sitting
bit.
at 37 to 40 right now.
Yeah, yeah. It was a bit chilly. It was a bit chilly when I let the dogs out this morning, but that's just meaning that, we're coming to the end of another year,
Yep.
which means something very, very important to you and what you do. Um, I would like to ask you first, today has special meaning for you in your business. Can you tell us what you do and what today is?
Yes, that's correct. Today is our special meeting because it's actually the second day of open enrollment. We all know about open enrollment is that 2 month of the year where people can actually start shopping around for a new health insurance coverage for the next 12 months. That doesn't really affect what I do. The open enrollment doesn't affect, but it's a good timing where people are more, I would say, open to actually listen, and then they open their eyes for the next 12 months and see what could be done for in terms of health coverage. So basically what I do, I work with a non-for-profit organization based out of Florida, and we do health sharing. Health sharing, it's an alternative to traditional health insurance. The benefit of health sharing is, first, we don't have any open enrollment. I know it's the open enrollment period, but with the program itself, there is no open enrollment. Somebody, client members, I don't even call them clients, I call them members. They join our program, and today, which is October 16th, and they get coverage starting on the next month, November 1st, and then that's all throughout the year. So somebody could come in at February 14th on Valentine's Day and then get covered starting on March 1st. So that's the benefit. And more than that, it's also because it's a non-for-profit, it allows our members to have affordable health care and also better care. First, why is it affordable? It's non-for-profit. So all the money collected, all the premium paid from a member would go towards paying their medical bills. That's the only motive, paying medical bills. You might agree with me that right now the healthcare system in the U.S. It's broken. Um, Healthcare is number one uh, reason why people get bankrupt, and then it shouldn't. And then that'll fall probably into how I got into this, and it started almost 20 years ago. Wow, it's already 20 years ago. I used to be a registered nurse, and I worked in the field. I was a young registered nurse, full of energy. Worked in a neurosurgery unit, so people would come in usually for brain tumors, from epilepsy, from you know spines injuries, uh, all that. So
TBIs.
say again,
Yeah, TBIs,
TBIs, yeah,
accidents. Yep, yep.
accident. So I saw people come in and slowly they would you slowly would get worse and worse, and then you could see the emotional toll, the physical toll, definitely the medical toll, but also the financial toll. When you spend days and days in the hospital, you might be when you leave, if you do leave, you might be in shock when you get that medical bill. So I worked there for a couple of years, and I was just it was just not for me at that time. The mental toll, the emotional toll was a lot on me.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, Phil. I really my hand goes up to the nurses, the doctors, because they're doing a very good job. I mean, they're heroes without a cape. and then they deserve, all what they're doing. They're working hard, but it was just not for me. I was not emotionally ready, and then I left the field and I went into my legal practice, which I love doing, but I was still wanted to help people um, have an impact. Right now I have an impact on my client, and then they love what I'm doing. I hope they love what I'm doing, but I still wanted to have a larger impact, and then I still had that healthcare space in mind. And then a couple of years ago, when a business partner of mine introduced me to this program, which is health sharing, it just made sense. And then for me, it was like, oh, this is the answer to people's need. This is really like an answer where people would actually uh, save on their medical bill. But more than that, is to have access. You know,
You
having access. This is it's number one. You told me you had an accident. You were able to have access to that, and that you would probably cover and had good coverage at the time. But some people are not that lucky, and they're not in
yeah.
a large
Oh yeah. Yeah.
urban
You know,
city. Go ahead.
it is, I mean, one of the things that we have a lot of people come to us is because they didn't have adequate accident insurance, and they had only liability or whatever it is, and they don't realize how little when they sign up for it, how little that covers, little to basically nothing.
I think, yeah.
Um, and so they end up with a lot of trouble. Um, you are in and cover both Canada and the United States. What is the difference when you talk to residents in Canada to residents in the United States? What are the difference when it comes to let's just call it the sales pitch?
Mhm.
How do you approach each person?
Yeah. So the program itself, it's a US based program. As I mentioned, it's based out of Florida. So it's all for all the US resident and obviously US citizen. So it allows somebody from, let's say, Vermont or from Florida it could be traveling across the country to, let's say, Colorado, and then goes down a ski hill, and then end up breaking up an ankle or a wrist. That person will have access to an hospital in Colorado, not having to fly back, and then that person won't have to worry about is the doctor, is the anesthesiologist, is the hospital in network. So the pitch itself is for U.S. resident, you won't have the freedom to have access to any network, or because there's no network, to have access to any medical providers out there in case you need. That would be the speech. It's the freedom of freedom of choice, basically. There is no you're not tied to any network. Freedom of choice, but more than freedom of choice, when U.S. Uh, members are traveling outside of the U.S., one thing that you mentioned is have access. We have a pretty robust emergency plan. When somebody from the US is traveling abroad and is into an emergency, that person in that country would have also could use and then be covered with that with our program, even if it's outside of the US. Now, for Canadian, it's a little bit different. For Canadian, because it's a US based program, the Canadian would be for people that are, they might want to get away from the cold in Canada, and then they want to spend a few months some of the southern states, Texas, Florida, California, you name it. And then those people usually they buy a property, probably a condo, in a condo unit, and then just they stay there for a couple months. And then those people usually during those time, for 3 months, if anything happened to them, they might have access to some of the travel insurance, but those travel insurance are just limited in time frame, or they might be just limited in coverage. With our program, it's a comprehensive program. So you need in hospital care, you need at a hospital, you need any medical provider, you would have access to them. For Canadians, a little bit different. For Canadians, I would ask them first, do you have a passport to be able to travel to the US? Second, do you have a US bank account? Usually they would, because usually if they have properties in the US, they have to pay property tax, they have to pay uh HOAs, they have to have a
Oh yeah.
so they would have a bank account. So those would be mostly for people who are traveling. And also, even if you're not traveling, or if you're not living, but if you're staying for a long stay, like truckers, you
Mm.
know, truckers that travel across the country, that go international between Canada and the US, those people are also, they would have access to that program. So depending on who I talk to, it's always the question, do you want to have the most basic question, do you want to have the freedom to go anywhere? And then do you want a program that's affordable? People would say yes to those questions, and they would have they'd be more than open to come onto our program.
Here comes the question, the dreaded question that I'm going to ask you. We have got elections coming up here in the US. There's also elections coming up in Canada. Are there any candidates out there? And we're not asking for an opinion. Everybody can make their own opinions. So this isn't going after anybody. This is a simple question. Are there any candidates that uh, are pushing at changes that will come that will affect what you're bringing to people?
Yeah. From the Canadian side, I don't think so. No candidate would change anything because it's US. But from the US side, um, we have the two candidates, Harris, Trump, and then their approach to healthcare is different. On one side, they want to have more um, caps and control over medication. On the other side, they want more privatization. I don't think we change anything, to be honest, because we, and I don't want to be politically here. I'm just looking down the facts here. Uh, our program became more popular after Obamacare, when they had access to the Obamacare. So people would actually look into more different options to be able to save on to have more affordable programs. And we know what happened during the 4 years that Mr. Trump was president. It didn't change much of the Obamacare. Uh, is it going to change anything else? I don't think so necessarily, but I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't really tell.
Right.
But that being said, to be honest, I don't think it would, because people are more and more open. People are tight. When you're tight, people are probably they're more open to look into, how can I save a buck? How can I save? And then healthcare after mortgages, after rent, is number one expense. I don't think it would change much, to be honest. I don't think so.
And I mean, here's the reason I asked that question. Okay, I know that
Mhm.
there are a lot of people who are really, really hesitant on making any changes right now because the future is so, because the race is close, and they're afraid to make any changes that they're going to come to find out in the future, oh my god, I made the wrong choice here, and now because I made that change, I'm in a different position. And that's the reason why I asked that question, is I just, I didn't think that we were in a situation, whereas one of the candidates has not come out with a substantial health care plan, good or bad, whatever. I wanted to make sure that that people understood that, look, there's high doubt that any of this will change. So that's the whole reason I came up with that.
To
I
be
appreciate you not putting anything political behind it. It's just a fact.
Yeah, just a fact. To be honest, I don't think, the program I'm offering, it's an alternative to traditional health insurance. But I don't think tomorrow is going to change the healthcare system. The reason why is, uh, we need healthcare insurance.
Hmm.
We need healthcare insurance specifically for anyone that's in a very uh, has a lot of medical history, has need to go a lot to a doctor. We need those. We need. I'm not saying that we're gonna get rid of health insurance. We still need health insurance.
Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah.
I'm saying is, for people that are healthy to fairly healthy, um, and the people that are more tight, you might want to consider as another option also. And the benefit of a program, especially in groups, it's that it allows. I don't know if you know Cobra. Cobra, it's when somebody lose their job, and then they have to pay into health insurance, healthcare insurance during that period that they're in between two jobs. So, but with our program, it could help those people that are in Cobra if they are looking in between two jobs. But to be honest, I don't think our program is gonna change profoundly the way health care works, but it's not gonna get rid of health insurance. Health insurance has a lot of necessity. It's necessary. It's a
Yeah.
necessity. It's
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's going to lead to my next question. You mentioned that you are a tax attorney,
Mhm,
and now you are slowly making the transition to something that affects your taxes, which is healthcare.
mhm.
You do get tax advantages with the healthcare and everything like that. It does your healthcare benefits do show on your tax returns. So, and does this show on your tax returns the same as traditional insurance?
Yes and no. Yes, in certain instance. If you have a, how can I say it? If you have, it states based first, and then second is federally based. So I'm just going to go federally because every state is different,
Mhm.
obviously. But federally speaking, if you are, how can I say it? On the personal side, on your personal return, it's not deductible. Not like a HSA, a high saving account. It would not be deductible from your personal return, basically. On the however, if it's a group, when I mean a group, it could be a corporation, it could be a LLC, it could be um,
C Corp.
any a
Yeah.
C corp, any type of organization that provide health benefit. Not only a healthcare, it could be a health benefit, it could be how do you call it? It could be any type of group benefit, 401ks, retirement benefit. When the employer, sorry, makes a contribution towards your premium, that will be deductible for the corporation and the employer. So in that sense, on a personal level, basically on a personal level, no, it would not. But on the corporate level, where you have your employer providing the benefit to the employees, it would be a deduction that could use it towards reducing their taxes.
Okay, but if you do not have insurance, you do get penalized, correct?
Yes,
So,
in
but
in certain states,
this will keep you from being penalized.
yes. In one of my client that was actually based in California. California is one of the states that would penalize you if you don't have any type of health coverage.
Believe Colorado is too.
With Colorado, yeah. So in that case, we confirm that with the local accountant that health sharing, like our program, would not be penalized.
Okay.
It's considered like insurance. It's not insurance, but it would not be penalized. So
Uh,
it's a great alternative to health insurance, and then you still get the perks and not be penalized on the state level.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about you. You obviously don't sound like a regular Montreal. resident, and you have an accent that's a little heavier than most Vermontians.
Yes.
So, can you tell us where is your lineage from? Where did you migrate from?
I
Immigrate.
I was born and raised, partially raised in France. So I
So you
speak.
do have the Montreal in you.
Yeah, I do have the Montreal in me, yes, and I did live in Montreal, and I still have my mom is in Montreal actually,
Yeah.
and so I do speak French fluently. I learned English late in life. I when I moved to actually before I go there, I was born in France, raised in Cameroon. It's a Central African country. Probably people know Nigeria. I'm next to Nigeria. It's actually east of Nigeria. And I learned English at a late age because I was raised in Cameroon, then raised in France, spoke a lot of French, sorry. And I moved to my parents at one point decided to move to Canada. That's where when I moved to Canada, I realized that in Canada, I was in Montreal, which is a French-speaking country, city, sorry. And I realized I'm surrounded by English-speaking people. I must learn English. So what I did, I went to Alberta and I spent 2.5 years there, and that's where I picked up English. That's where I still have that French accent, but not that strong. And I still don't have that. People, when they speak French or even English, they probably wonder where my accent comes from because I don't have the strong French accent. I don't have the strong African accent. I don't have the US accent. I have a mixed accent, basically.
Well, you know what? Here's the important question: are you a Canadians fan?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. I
we all
know, I
can't be
know, I know.
perfect. We all can't be perfect, okay? But
So I'm guessing you are the Colorado.
I am
Or-
not. I'm actually a New Jersey Devils fan. I'm a lifelong New Jersey Devils, before that Colorado Rockies, and even before that Kansas City Scouts fan. So I've been following the team since they were the Kansas City Scouts.
Are
So
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
you born and raised in Colorado or New Jersey?
My history is a little bit weird. I was born in New Jersey, went to Germany for the first 3 years of my life, lived in Colorado, Kansas, and now I've been back in Colorado for 20, 30. Oh my God. Here we go. Exactly what you just happened to you earlier.
Mhm.
34 years I've been back in Colorado. So
Okay.
I've lived the majority of my life here in Colorado. But yeah,
Yeah.
so you're you've been around a lot of places. Did that have anything to do with your faith? Were there a lot of like
You-
missionary reasons, or was there anything to do with the faith with a lot of the travel?
The road travel has nothing to do with my faith, but has to do with my motives or my volunteering work that I've done. And I'll explain why. First, I'll start with my faith. Amin is an Arabic name. The reason I use Arabic name because my dad was Muslim. I say was because he passed 9 years ago, and rest in peace. And my mom was a Christian. She was a Christian, so I grew up in both faiths. And eventually, as I grew up and I became an adult, I decided to give my life to the Lord and Savior Jesus, because I was just in a place where I was able to compare the two religion, and I felt more connected with the Christian faith, and that helped. And also, probably the travel also because I lived in Cameroon. Cameroon is basically 50-50, so Muslim, Christian. I grew up in the two faith, Muslim and Christian. France was most obviously more Christian, French, and Canada also more Christian, but it has nothing to do necessarily with my faith. It's just I married a wonderful wife, um, and she was a God-fearing woman. She brings a lot of peace to I'm born in May, so I'm a Taurus. I'm very goal
Very
oriented.
strong.
She brings a lot of peace and calm, and then she helped me with my walk towards Christ, and then I that's where I find my peace, and then that's where my faith come. She helped me a lot to be grounded and be peaceful.
You know, my wife is pretty much the exact same thing. She brings me a lot of peace and calm as long as I agree with what she says. If not, she's redneck and she'll make me
Yes,
agree to what
yeah,
she says. So
yes, yes,
she'll
boss.
allow me to be peaceful as long as I'm doing what I'm told to do. So
Yes, yes.
but hey, I mean, um was
And I
there any, yeah, please.
and then I wanted to add something about my travel. You know, I said something about my travel. My travel helped me a lot for what I love to do outside of what I'm doing,
Mm,
which is helping people through legal advice or helping with healthcare. I love helping kids. I came from a family of six. I'm the number four. I have three older sisters, one younger brother, one younger sister. I'm number four. So I always love being around kids. And then everything I've done, every type of volunteering work was always around kids. Either being a big brother to a big brother, big sister program, either, raising money for hungry kids, kids that want to play hockey, uh, kids that can, kids that can afford 3 meals a day. So it was always around kids. And finally, the Lord gave me two boys at a late age, but there's no age to be a parent, to be a dad. And those two boys are very, very wonderful. I love them, and everything I do, it's always surrounded around kids. For me, kids are the next generation. Whether it's you know leukemia, I help leukemia, hungry kids, kids that wanted to get into sports. I was a big brother for big sister. I actually uh, supervise kids and then manage summer camp. So those helped me because I was always surrounded by kids, and in Africa, it's all family oriented, and everything I do, it's always surrounded by around kids.
I mean, you also, as along with joining the Community Pay It Forward family, you're also a sponsor of the Miracle. And this is just from me to you. I think that you are so perfect for what we're doing in a Miracle because your parents did something that, and you have the experience in something that a lot of people don't think can happen. There was that religious divide in the household, and you were held together. You obviously are a well-adjusted individual. You're a wonderful, wonderful person trying to help people. See, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing a miracle, is to show people that we don't have to be the same to be the same. We the kids out there, caring for kids is so important. Making sure that they have a chance, that way they have a chance. Making sure that there are options out there. So I am so excited about what you're going to bring to the miracle. I think that coming from both sides, the Muslim side, the Christian side, your faith and your history, I think it's going to be wonderful because you can show people that, look, this is possible. And I appreciate that so very much, and I think that we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Thank you for introducing me to this program. And then I'm looking forward to participating. I'm looking forward to see how I can bring my input and then bring the fact that I travel. I actually lived in three different continents also, and then I was able to be exposed to so many different ethnicity. And then I hope that, from what I understand, the program, the event itself is going to be, it's a very inclusive program, and I think having me on the team would help, and I'll do everything that I can to help grow
I
the
greatly appreciate
event.
it. I mean, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me in different ways. First, I want to thank you, Zach, for putting the website together. There's a lot of information on the website, the email. jk@gmail.com by phone. I have a phone number in Vermont and also one in Quebec. So they could have access to those phone number. And I also have a link where they could book a time. What I love to do is doing this interaction for 30 minutes, get to know the person. Obviously you're going to find my website, you're going to find a lot of information. What I find with website is just information. What I like to do is communication. I like to communicate with people. I'm a communicator. So I'm more than welcome to spend half an hour getting to know the person, getting to know what's important to them, because it's all about what's important to you. Is it your family time? Is it your you know? When I say family, it would be your parents or your kids. It could be a vacation. It could be anything. What's important to you, and then I hope that I could help them to and meet them where and help them with what's important to them.
And one of the thing that you're going to see about Amin is he can also help you as a bill negotiator. They can help reduce your bills by negotiating for you. So you can look into that. You're going to find Amin's profiles listed below. Please go in the information. Please go and visit. And you know what? If you're sick and tired of the standard insurance practices and all the hoops and loops and jumps you have to do through insurance, maybe this is the alternative you've been looking for. What's it going to hurt to give him a call for 30 minutes? Obviously, you get to talk to a wonderful man, and maybe he can help you find the right program for you. Make your life a lot easier because it's more to understand. Please visit his landing page on our website, communitypayitforward.us. Just type in up top, Amin, and it's going to pop up. You can go visit his page, and there's a place that you click, and it's going to take you right to his calendar so you can set up an appointment with him.
Yeah.
Amin, my friend, welcome to the team once again. Welcome to the family. And thank you so very much.
Well, Zach, I want to thank you for having me on the team. Thank you for introducing me to the team. Thank you for taking the time to share the community, taking the time with me, because over the last couple of weeks, I was traveling, busy, and then you allowed me to do my to give me the time, and I appreciate, and I'll help grow the community as much as I can also.
We truly do believe, I tried to make sure that every time that I contacted you, my first concern was with your family. I know that you ended up having a sick young one, and that's more important to me than all the other things. But making sure that we're there for someone else's sick little one is so important to me and yourself. And you've already said that. So I am so happy to have you on board.
I appreciate, and then you definitely appreciate you checking on my little one, which is sometimes driving me crazy now, but he's doing fine.
Hey, you know what? They don't stop, buddy. I've got one that's 30 years old and one that just turned 22. So, yeah, they
Good.
don't stop driving you crazy, but you know what? You never look at them without a smile on your face,
Oh,
knowing that everything good about you is standing in front of you. So, I love
yes,
my boys so much. I mean, my kids are it's the greatest thing I've ever done. So, it's a
I
wonderful, wonderful journey you've started, even though it was a little bit later.
it's never late. It's in God's timing.
That'll work.
It'll work.
So, all right. I appreciate it. Again, communitypayitforward.us. Just go to the search bar and you can look up Amin or type in better healthcare experience. Better healthcare experience. All the information is in the chat. Please like, share, comment, let people know about what we're doing here and visit Amin. Again, a 30-minute talk with this guy. Come on, you can do that. That's easy. He's a great guy to talk to. So, but we will talk to you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.